So I'm in Home Depot the other day, walking around, looking around at stuff, and just happened to look up, and look what I found. Yeah, an exact copy of the Harbor Freight LED work light. Is it better than Harbor Freight? Will it last longer? Does it function better? What do you say I unwrap this thing, charge it up, and we find out. Stand by. Sons of bitches! Now, let's be honest. Harbor Freight did rip this off from the Astro SL. The Astro SL is not like this exactly. Harbor Freight actually made it better. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now the Harbor Freight light has a bendy like that, where the Astro, it just has a little wobble on the bottom. This part does not bend. And the Astro is $46 at the present time. These are like 36, so a little bit cheaper, but when the price was really cheap, even with the coupon now, these things are like 26 bucks. And I got this one from the Home Depot. This was like 19 some dollars. But for 20 bucks, I figured I'd buy it, check it out. Now this Husky is made out of aluminum just like the Harbor Freight. It seems to be a little bit thicker in the handle, which is not a big deal. It does have a magnet just like the Harbor Freight does. Now this one bends all the way down. Now when I did my review on the Harbor Freight light, that was one of the things I didn't like, is it's really tough to find a place to put it in your toolbox because you have to find an L slot for the light. Now this one, I can just put it into the toolbox and I don't have to have that weird L shape. It's a lot easier to carry in your glove box if you want it in your glove box. The button on this Husky one is also on the side instead of on the front like the Harbor Freight. Also, this one does not come apart, at least not easily. I'm sure there's a way of getting it apart, but it'd be a real pain. When the battery goes bad, it's bad. On the Harbor Freight, you can take the bottom off, take the battery out, and change the battery in it. I don't know if I'm going to like the switch being on the side. I'm sure it won't cause a big problem. Now this has a obvious yellow tinge to the light, where the Harbor Freight is more of a daylight white, bluer LED light. One thing that is a same pain in the ass that Harbor Freight has, it's got that three-way switch on it, which I absolutely hate. It goes low, medium, and then it has this stupid asinine light like the Harbor Freight has on it. It's absolutely worthless. I don't know why they put that on there. Suppose you're going to copy somebody, you might as well copy them all the way. But what I wish they would have copied with Harbor Freight is, on the Harbor Freight light, when you turn it on and leave it on for a few seconds, press it again, it turns off. This one does not do that. It goes low, medium, high. You have to go through low, medium, high every time you turn the light on and off. That's a pain in the butt. Now measuring the magnet, I don't have anything to measure the strength of the magnet. I know the Harbor Freight has a strong magnet on the bottom. The Husky seems to be just as strong as the Harbor Freight's magnet. Now if you don't have a magnetic base to use these lights, the Harbor Freight, you're a little bit limited. And let's say I've got a shelf or something set up and I need the light to go out this way. If there's no place for the magnetic base, I'm pretty much going to have to use duct tape or do what I do here and carry around a chunk of metal to put it on. With a Husky, I've got some more options. Since it bends all the way down, I can actually put it on a shelf or a drawer, and there are several ways I can use it, so that's really nice. That's a point for the Husky for sure. Now you can tell the Harbor Freight is definitely a brighter light, and the Husky has a bit more of a yellow tinge to it. Another difference with the lights is the Husky has a 3-year warranty, where the Harbor Freight only has a 90-day warranty. Now hopefully the camera picks this up, but you can see that on the Husky, the LED light there, you can barely see, that'll be red while it's charging, and when it's done charging it turns green, and you really got to turn it to see it. The Harbor Freight has got a nice, easy to see big red light that also turns green once it's charged up. but it's much easier to see. I can see this from across the room when I'm charging. It's another thing they should have copied. They should have copied the big LED light instead of this little tiny puny one. Now for the rest of this test, I'm actually going to have to wait till it gets dark out so I can see exactly how much light these things put out. Now this one from Husky says it puts out 300 lumens in the high beam, 150 lumens in the medium, and 80 lumens for the spotlight. Where the Harbor Freight puts out 390 lumens in the high, 109 in the low beam, and 52 lumens in the worthless little flashlight on the end. So after it gets dark, we'll see which one looks better, and I'll see which one of these lasts longer. You son of a bitches. All right, I got my work lights, I got my clock set up, I've got the time lapse on the camera ready. Let's do a test and see how long these things last. Sons of bitches. Well, that's kind of a fail, but not really. It was a fail in a good way. These lights ran for 3 hours. It says 2.5 on the box. I started the test at 8 o'clock. I kept checking 9, 10, 10:30, waiting for them to go out. 11 o'clock. I gotta go to bed. I'm getting old. I can't be up till 2 o'clock in the morning with this crap. It says 2.5 hours. Come on, 2.5 hours on this, come on. Sons of bitches. Anyway, that's a good problem to have. So obviously with both of these lights, they say 2.5 hours. Usually, I wasn't actually expecting 2.5 hours. Usually everybody just lies about it and they stretch the truth. These things lasted 3 hours, so good for Husky and the Braun. Well, as far as the battery goes, they both obviously lasted a long time. The advantage that Harbor Freight has is the battery is replaceable, so I'm giving that to Harbor Freight. Now let's talk price. Price on the Harbor Freight, these things have gone up. This one from Home Depot, this one was, I believe, $19.99 or something like that, $19.95, however it was, but it's 20, call it 20 bucks. It's cheaper than the Harbor Freight, so Husky gets the check mark on that one. Now let's talk form and function. They both pretty much do the same thing. You put them to a piece of metal, turn them on, they light up. Not a big deal. Now the Harbor Freight I have accidentally turned on many times just by adjusting it, and it's a pain in the butt. But after using the Husky, same thing happens, even though it's on the side instead of the front. Now as far as the Husky, it's double jointed. So you can bend them either way, all the way up, all the way down, and that's a plus. Everybody loves double jointed. Am I right, fellas? The LED brightness and LED color. That's gonna have to be your choice too. The Braun has a more daylight white, which is more of a blue light, if you like that or not. I happen to like that. The Husky has more of a yellow light. The Harbor Freight is definitely brighter, as you can see on that nighttime shot. Some people have a hard time with daylight color LEDs. In that case, you'd want to go definitely with the Husky. Both of them work great. I don't know. I would probably still go for the Harbor Freight Braun just because it's brighter. But actually I would go for both of them. I will probably buy another one of these Huskies just because this is really cool. This fact that I can bend this thing all the way down. I can have a bunch of different combinations. I'm not wild about the yellow light. I'm not wild about that you can't change the battery. My ideal LED light would be to have Harbor Freight copy the Husky and put a double jointed light in here so it will do what the Husky would do. That would be, to me, the ultimate light. But tell me what you think down in the comments below. Which one do you think is better? It fits now. So I'm in Harbor Freight the other day. I'm just walking along minding my own goddamn business. I happened to look up at a shelf and look what I got. Look what I found. An exact duplicate of the Harbor Freight LED light. Well, I marched up to the manager's office. Didn't even bother knocking on the door. I just flew the damn thing open, stood him up out of his chair, put this thing in his fat face, under his big waddly chin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What is this bullshit? Somebody has to do it.